Hi, everybody. This is Mike Messier. I am here with Jermaine Adams. Jermaine and I have known each other for a number of years. Jermaine's up in Rhode Island. Jermaine was actually in my acting classes, TAO ZEN Acting. He's a filmmaker. We've worked on a few things together. Jermaine's very active on social media. And Jermaine, first of all, I want to thank you as a friend for your encouragement and your getting the word out on a lot of my projects and also your own. And how you doing today, Jermaine?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the podcast. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're
You
welcome.
know, how you doing yourself? Good?
I'm doing good, man. You know, I was just watching this impeachment trial before I got on the air with you, and it's just crazy that we've come to this point in our country. Um, but we've seen so many things unprecedented in 2020. Now we're in just the literally first 2 weeks of 2021, and there was an old Beatles song. You know, it's getting better all the time. It couldn't get much worse. So, you know, I. But I'm glad to be talking to you today. It's been a couple of years since we've talked anyway. But Jermaine, what's your overall take on the things that we saw in 2020? Um, there's so many police brutality cases. I do want to mention that your handle or your catchphrase, so to speak, or both, is "Man, listen," and I've always liked that because it's a good way of getting people's attention. So, Jermaine,
Yeah,
what
that's
are your
also my stage name. I do
yeah?
music too. So that, you know what I mean? Like, but, yeah, my take on 2020 as a whole, I
Yeah.
mean, I think that police brutality, I think, is just nuts, period. Whether it was 2020 or 1972, 1950 something, in which I wasn't even there for. Like,
Right.
I think as a whole, if we're within this society, correct? Like people wake up in the AM and we do what we do. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people that do things of a criminal nature as well. But and I do understand that you do have to look at people and try to judge where your relationship's gonna go when you first approach them, so to speak. But I mean, for senseless, like if you approach someone that is unarmed, I feel as though, and you know that you're armed, I feel as though you should know that you have the upper hand, so to speak. And if that person doesn't seem like when you look at them, like when you read their body, if it doesn't seem like they're moving towards a attack motion, then I think from there on in, you yourself should not be on that end if because you're there to serve and protect, and at which point you should, even though you might think this guy is a criminal, you should still assume that this guy might be a taxpayer and he might be paying your actual salary, so to speak. Where your salary, because I think that's where it comes from. I'm not completely sure, but and
Yeah.
that's just how I feel.
Have you up in Rhode Island? Have you experienced yourself or friends or family members of you, Jermaine, experienced just out and out racism from police figures or authority figures? What do you think
Well,
about
I
the scene
mean,
in Rhode Island?
the scene in Rhode Island is well, it's how can I explain it? Have I faced direct racism? Well, I mean prejudice, yes, from police officers, most definitely. I mean, but I faced prejudice from not only white folks, but actually other black folk, that prejudged me as who my character was well before they even got to sit down and speak to me or see who I was as an individual. So I can't really, but I mean, when we speak in terms of prejudice, I've got it all across the board. That's. And as far as cops is concerned, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I've definitely gotten that from police officers, white and black, you know. pretty much the same thing, you know. So I mean, in myself, I'm pretty sure family members. I've definitely got family members that definitely went through some prejudice with police officers in the past. But I mean, like for me, I just try to keep it moving. I'm still trying to be positive, you know, and I mean keep a positive outlook on life, you know, so to speak. You know, like I said, you know, like I try my best to not judge someone by like like try my best not to prejudge someone, you know what I'm saying? Within the scope of things, you know? And you know, that's pretty much where I'm at. I feel as though everyone else should probably wake up with the same attitude, so to speak, or
And
close to it. But I'm not trying to have everyone be exactly like me though, because we're not, you know, exactly the same.
I know you're a very positive guy, which I've always appreciated about you. And so I know that sometimes when we talk about these type of issues, the thing that people will accuse people of is, oh, you know, you're making an excuse or you're playing the race card or stuff like that. But I think if 2020, nothing else, it became apparent, even people that have had their head in the sand a bit, that there is so many things that are not fair or not equal. You know, if people needed a wake up call, then we got it. And
2020 was definitely, yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, it was happening well before then. I was definitely seeing stuff well before then, like in terms of like you know, public, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, public displays of hey, we just don't like you because of what you look like, so to speak. But I mean, yeah, 2020, it was just like, look, we ain't changing, we ain't trying to change it. You know, it was just all right. That's just where it was. And, you know, I mean, I'm not like I said, I don't like I still hang with my friends. I seen my friend Derek the other day. He's a white dude. I didn't, you know what I mean? On New Year's Eve, I was pretty much surrounded by, you know what I'm saying, the majority of Caucasian people for the majority of the time that, you know what I mean? Of, you know what I mean? That's how I
yeah,
brought in, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't a situation where you know, it's, you know, if you make me feel uncomfortable, then I'll just tell you about yourself, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much that's where that's at, so to speak. And anything else is just anything else, you know what I'm saying?
Jermaine, I
You know?
want
I
to go back.
mean,
Go
friends are
ahead.
friends though, you know,
That's true.
no
Yeah,
matter, you know what I mean? No matter where they at, you know what I mean?
it's interesting. Like I said, you have such a positive attitude, and this world or our country specifically, I feel that it doesn't always appreciate guys like yourself that have a positive attitude because the squeaky mice get the wheel, or whatever the expression is. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. You know what I mean? Because the people who will make a lot of headway in their country, I guess I'm thinking specifically of our current president. It's they go out of their way to be aggressive or divisive or loud, boisterous, make big
Yeah,
impressions.
I mean, yeah, like I've noticed that, you know, and I mean, in the scope of things, you know, I mean, his character is his character. You know, I mean, in the beginning, he was like, you know, like the very when he first got in, I was like, look, like everybody was mad at me. I was like, listen, but I was like, look, I mean, I didn't vote either way, but I'm like, give the guy a shot. If he messes up, then he messes up. If he don't mess up, then he don't mess up. But screw it, I know he was talking a whole lot of nonsense, and it did sound kind of crazy on his way in, but he's there. There's nothing else we can do but give him a shot now. Like there's just no other choice. You know what I mean? So now he was
Right.
there, and then it is what it was. Oh yeah, it was what it was. You know, so to speak. And I mean, I'm not like completely anti-Trump, so to speak. You know, like or anything or the anything like that, so to speak. Like, but I mean, you know, people wake up in the AM, you know, and they tend to think that they understand, you know, each individual, you know, I can't say, for example, that I completely know where that man's brain's at for him to think the way he thinks, like what he's seen, what he, you know. So I can't completely, like, I mean, look, I looked at his actions and I'm like, look, you know what I'm saying? Look, you know, like I wasn't rocking with the idea of a wall. I wasn't rocking with, you know what I mean? You know, a couple things, you know, like his idea of getting rid of a pandemic team it, before if any pandemic would ever come up, you know. But I mean, I did like the Exxon thing though. You know, people I kind of got flack for that. I was like, look, you know, I did, to me, I thought that was a halfway decent idea. You know what I mean? Trying to put the dude from Exxon into some sort of a position, and you know what I mean? I thought that was kind of a halfway decent idea. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm somebody different or like I'm a different character or I'm a different person. I'm gonna give you 100% me. When I seen that, I was like, okay, give him a chance. You know what I mean? Give him a chance. He might mess up, he might not. Give him a chance, you know, so to speak, you know? Because
Right.
to me, I thought that was you know what I mean? I thought that was a wise step, kind of, so to speak. You know, despite not seeing what happened with how the dude from Exxon handled the position he actually took. You know what I mean? I just thought in my head, you know what I mean, so to speak, like you know what I mean, like something like that. I think I would have probably did that one move, but the rest of that,
So
to me, I wouldn't have paid for no wall. I would have, if it was security at the borders, I would have paid the security at the borders. Data got raises. Like, I mean, let's be realistic, and you know what I
how,
mean? Like they're out there all day. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
Like,
hear you. And you had an open mind about his presidency going in, which is great. And even the comedian Dave Chappelle said the same type of thing, and he got some slack too. You know, because I think your attitude was kind of similar, which is, hey, look, he's in now, so we might as well give him a shot. How do you think he did 4 years
yeah.
later? In 4 years, now that we've come to the end of the run, so to speak, the end of the road of his presidency, what's your thoughts?
Um. Well. Like I said, I did like the Exxon thing, uh, as a strategy because it was a new, like it was creative to me. You know what I'm saying? It was a creative strategy. You know what I mean? So to speak. You know. And but as far, like I said, as far as that wall stuff was concerned, I wasn't rocking with building a wall and trying to have Mexico pay us, cause like, bro, we're running in and having like, are we guns drawn running in and having Mexico pay us, or like how are we accomplishing this? Maybe, you know, like I had no clue about it, you know, and things of that nature. So 4 years later, I would say we survived it. You know what I mean? It was a rough. It was there was some bumps. There was some bumps and bruises. You know what I mean?
Right,
And we
right.
survived it though. You know, and I mean, hey, you know, it's a learning experience. You know, I mean, this is his first. That was his first term, I'm guessing, or whatever. And they're about to peach him though, and keep him out of any kind of a term because I guess he didn't pick up. He didn't pick on as quickly. You know, I mean, you are as the president. You not only, you know what I'm saying, as the president, there's certain things that you do have to, you know what I mean? There's certain, like, I guess, like if you notice, every other president carried themselves a certain way, you know what I mean?
Right.
And also, I think it was more so his carrying, the way he approached his policies, like as opposed to just, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, okay, if this is a policy that you think is gonna work and benefit society, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? Like, kick out the pointers, but instead, like his approach about it was like more so on a defense well before he had to defend anything. You get what I'm saying? Like he just kind of like jumped out there and kind of was just like, and he would spew some stuff like kind of like on some old, like, you know, the rhetoric, you know how he come out his face. We all seen it, you
Right.
know, and
Very
it's
abrasive.
just, yeah, it was just wild. So I was just like, look, I'm not really, you know what I mean? That it didn't really vibe. it didn't, like, it wasn't really a vibe I was really vibing with, so to speak. And I'm a vibes kind of guy. I mean, no disrespect to the dude. Like I said, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know what he was going through, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? The presidency time could have came in a time period where he was going through some extra stuff in his life, and you know what I mean? Like, he couldn't balance the two. Something could have happened. I don't
He
know. I
tends
have
to
no
have
clue.
women
I don't
drama. We
know.
know that.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know what the dude is going through, you know what I'm saying, in life, But
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't, you know what I mean? Hey, you know, it's just like
Jermaine, I wanted to ask you a
he
question.
is who he is,
Yeah.
and that's how it is. But I
Well,
can't really, you know what I mean?
right. It's a,
Like honestly, like this is honest. I'm just being honest with you as to who I am honestly. And like I said, I liked it, the Exxon thing. I was rocking with the Exxon thing 100%. And then everything else kind of was just, you know what I mean? Because it was a creative idea to me, and you know what I mean? I latched to the creativity of it. You know what I mean?
I think in retrospect, maybe people will give him credit 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now for some innovative things, but I think unfortunately that might and probably will be overshadowed by the personality, the abrasiveness, the uh,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
the thing that, look, any president would have a challenge handling the pandemic of coronavirus, and I think most presidents would have a real challenge
True.
with that. But I think
True.
that a different president, whether it was Obama or Reagan, either of the Bushes, I think they might have handled it. It probably would have a lot better. I think Trump was in denial that there was a problem, didn't want to face it, and
I
his
think I think there was something that was almost close to that around that time period when Obama was in president, but it wasn't. But people wasn't scared of it like that though. Like nobody budged like that
yeah, I think it was the
like that.
SARS
You know
thing, and
what I mean?
it was handled.
Yeah.
It wasn't as big a deal, and it was handled better. I wanted to go
Yeah.
back to something though, away from the topic of Trump, just on a more personal level. At the beginning of the interview, Jermaine, you mentioned something about experiencing prejudice from both white people and from black people in different ways. Is that because that was something you said that I didn't want to let that go? Can you expand more upon that?
Well, I mean, in terms of prejudice, it's just prejudging a person's character, so to speak. Like saying, I think you're the type of person that'll go down the street and do this. You know what I mean? Without, you know what I'm saying, like sitting down and talking to you about it, so to speak. That's prejudice, correct? Or at least that's what that
Yeah.
was my idea of what prejudice
Oh
was.
yeah. Yeah. It
So
is.
yeah, I've received that from both sides. You know what I mean? Of you know what I mean? Like I've received that white folks. They said you seem like the type of person that would do this. I've received that from black folks. You seem like the type of person that would do that, and I'd be like, oh, like to me, I thought that was kind of crazy. I was like, well, okay, maybe you see something that I don't see. You know what I mean? So
Can
to
I
speak.
can I
But
ask
in
what
in
some of
in,
this?
in
Go ahead.
retrospect, neither of them was actually right though. Like within my character, like as to how they was trying to read my character, so to speak. But I mean, there wasn't a whole lot from black folk though. You know what I mean? You
What
know what I'm
what
saying?
what are some of the?
But
Can you give us an example? Does anything stick out in your memory of a situation where someone made an assumption about you and it was uncomfortable because it felt like it was racially or based, like they made an assumption that felt like, okay, they think this way because I'm a black guy. Was there anything, a situation? You don't have to use names of the person, but just some type of situation we can relate to.
yeah, I mean, you know, not too long ago, well, I mean, coming up, as a youth, I would receive it a lot, like, oh, you're the type of guy that would just be, you know, on the curb all day, or you never amount to anything, those kind of spews, and I mean, like you'll never inspire anybody to do anything. You'll never do like you know what I mean. Like you'll never accomplish anything. Period. Everything. You know what I mean. And I mean, for me, I feel as though it to me it when the person who attempted it did so, when I seen them, I was thinking in that in my head that they'll probably go on to do something great, and they was thinking the complete opposite, and that was the thing that really messed me up. You know what I'm saying? So I went in it like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Dude seemed like an alright person, but when he might end up doing something great. Yada yada yada, smacky. Dude just hit me with the, "You're a horrible person. You look like," and I'm like, "Oh damn. Well, I guess I read that wrong too." You know what I mean? And there you go.
Yeah.
Once again, sometimes when you prejudge, you know what I mean, you read wrong, and you're like,
Right.
"Whoa." I was about to big you up, and,
Was that some type
but
of authority figure or someone that you looked up to professionally or something? Because that's a pretty painful words that this individual spoke, which sounds like a pretty
I've,
painful
I've
situation.
received that before, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually, I received that, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I did receive that by multiple different, like, teachers, cops, you know what I mean? Like, so it was wild, you know what I mean? And I would always, like, especially teachers, you know what I'm saying? And, and firefighters, you know what I'm saying? I always, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Firefighters and teachers. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I was like once they explained, okay, so the cops are supposed to help you out somehow, some way, or something. I was like, all right, I guess, so to speak. But I was never really like, oh, I look up to a cop, like, you know what I mean, so to speak, and that's a job I want to do necessarily, you know. Um, but however, you know what I'm saying, in the scope of things, I mean, I bumped into, you know what I mean, and and the thing was, I think it was a situation where they was kind of trying to make sure that I didn't look at a cop and think that they was like mean or evil or something like that, so to speak. And what ended up happening was the cop. So I was, you know what I mean. I was within I was within that frame. You know what I mean. I accepted that. You know what I mean. I was within that frame, and I was looking at that person within that frame, and the cop just, and I was like, oh well, I guess yeah, no, I guess that's not a strategy,
Right,
At least
right.
not with you anyway, because we got to go. I can't be around here, But that's where
Yeah.
that was for the most part.
I'm really curious, Jermaine, in 10 years, maybe 5 years, 15, 20, what the state of the police is going to be as far as not just, you know, police defunding the police or anything like that, but I'm just talking about the type of people that want to be police, the type of people that come up in the police academies moving forward after all these crazy things we've happened, police violence, people protesting, rioting, police getting hurt. I mean, even at the Capitol a week ago, a police officer was killed in the line of duty, beaten and dragged and beaten to death by this crazy, horrible mob at the Capitol.
Especially
So, yeah,
not to cut you off, but with the Black Lives Matter, they did the same thing. They was beating up. They was killing cops too.
you know what? There was some people, there was some police killed in the line of duty, but there wasn't, from my memory, and I could be wrong. Well, you know what? There was some police that were shot and killed. I don't have the statistics or the stories right on me. I was just thinking of the Capitol building where that mob at the Capitol dragged a police officer. I believe his last name was Sinkin or Skinkin, and killed him. And during the Black Lives Matter protests, I would also say this: there's a difference between a protest and a riot, and there's a difference between a
Yeah,
protester and a
facts.
rioter, right? So a lot of these
Yeah,
times when we say
thank you.
protests, people get confused because the amount of information we get on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, watching the news, you can't just glob all the protests and riots together, even if they happen on the same night, because there's different people with different agendas doing different things. Sometimes some of these extremist organizations on either side or on sides we don't even label yet because we don't know what they are, they
Yeah,
invade. I mean, I saw a YouTube video where there was a group handing out bricks to protesters trying to incite them, like a Like
Facts.
not the regular protesters, but another group coming in with a car full of bricks, handing people
And
bricks, trying to provoke people to
facts.
attack the businesses. So the conspiracy theory world, Jermaine, I can say that I've got one foot in there because I follow a lot of conspiracy theory stuff, and I try to regulate myself because you can take that to the extreme too. You can start questioning everything and start thinking the sky is green and the grass is blue if you want because somebody did a YouTube video about it. Um, but Jermaine, let's talk about you and your, because what I like about you, man, is you do keep it positive. I want to give you a template here or a platform to kind of talk about what you're doing with music and film and the things that you want to accomplish in your life. I want to hear about that. So you go right ahead and tell us about it.
Okay, so thank you. By the way, first, for the film, we got Anchors in the Roadie. I starred in that. I did like I played a record exec, and it was like, well, just introduce your your company name in there instead of, you know what I'm saying, like instead of writing in so and so's, instead of giving so and so that credit, you know what I'm saying, like interject your little publishing company in there. So I do that in there, whatever, so to speak. But so it was kind of like I played myself, not really, but you know what I'm saying, because I was a little more jankier with like the jewelry on and I'm not saying I don't wear jewelry, but you know what I'm saying, when I do,
Sure.
it's not costume jewelry for like a movie, so to speak.
What's the title of
You
that
know what I'm
project
saying?
again? What's the title of that project again?
Anchors in a Roadie.
Okay,
It's
cool.
in it's I forgot where it's something reels or something like that, reels.com or something. I can't remember. I should see. I was supposed to, I was supposed to, um, some. I wanted to say real2real.com, but then there was some site that you sell goods on there, and I don't know if that was the same site, so to speak.
Well, that's
You know
okay.
what I
Keep.
mean? Because the other one was a movie site, like where it was promoting actual film, like and people was, you know what I mean? So like I didn't want to mix the two up, you know what I mean? And I think that's what I'm doing now. That's why I was supposed to write it down. But um, but yeah, Anchors in the Roadie,
Okay.
it's starring me. Well, not well, like I said, I have a small role. Oscar Johnson actually plays the lead character. It's filmed by G Films and Fashion, so to speak, and I have True in it, like a bunch of people that I know, and actually Colin is in it. You know Colin.
Colin Felder.
You know what I
Yep. Good
mean?
guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, all day. You know what I'm saying? So he's in that one, and he's also in, like, Colin actually did that one with my team, or like the team that I took with, and another movie. Like I was only in one, Colin was in two. You know what I mean? So which is kind of cool, But and then
Colin.
um yeah,
What?
and then as far as the music side of things is concerned, like right now there's a song out called "Flow Up" by Maan Listen myself. That's just a random song, just to throw up there. The project it should be on its way. I'm finishing the mixing the mastering as we speak, like which is the final phase of the project, and then that should be coming as soon as possible. I got distinguished attire, where I'm um dealing with fashion. I got some sneakers, up distinguished attire, the sneaker brand, you know. Um, I also got a digital distribution site called Real Digital Pro up as we speak, and I'm trying to actually help other artists with distribution if I can, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing at the present moment in time. That's pretty much where I'm maneuvering with, you know,
That's a
or what
that,
I'm maneuvering
that
with,
that's a lot of
so to
stuff,
speak.
man. I'm looking for distinguished attire, man. That sounds really good. You know, it sounds like
Oh, it goes getdistinguishedattire.com.
okay.
Getdistinguishedattire.com.
I'm gonna look that up right now, man.
www.getdistinguishedattire.com for that. My
Well,
bad.
I'm proud of you, man. You're doing a lot of good things. I'm glad you
Yeah,
mentioned
I'm
pop.
trying, you know. But yeah,
I,
that's my people's, man. You know what I'm saying? He gives me shout outs when he can, you know. So of course I'm gonna give him a shout out every time I can too, you know.
I'll have to have Colin on the show in the future because he's a good guy too, man. And
Yeah.
I just want to say thanks, man. You know, we did some good things with TAO Zone Acting, and you know, I remember you were in the course that I was doing. I think our friend Chuck Killian was there because I think you worked with him at
Yeah.
University of Rhode Island for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Facts.
Chuck always
Chuck,
spoke.
that's my guy though. That's my guy though, Chuck. He's
Chuck
cool.
always spoke highly of you, man, and I know
Yeah.
you know it's good, man, that we're both trying to keep things positive and moving forward. Just what do you hope for as we wrap up, Jermaine? What do you hope for 2021 for our country and for the world and for yourself? What are your thoughts on
Um
this whole year to screw up? So what do you think? What can we do to not screw it up?
well, I would think if we get if for 2021, you know, going forth, you know, if we decide to work more together with each other, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Because right now, you know what I'm saying, with all this stuff going on, you know, I think it'll be more productive of us as a society to come together, you know what I'm saying? You know, and for 2021, yeah, to exactly what you said, to move forward, 2021, completely, entirely. You know what I'm saying? The entire country to move forward, everybody to grow, prosper, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, do what they have to do, you know what I'm saying? And succeed with what it is they have to succeed with. You know what I mean? That's that. For me, going forward, 2021, you know what I mean? I would love to see that, you know what I mean? That'd be great, you know?
Sounds good, Jermaine. If people want to look you up online, should we forward them to your Facebook page? You got room for more friends, or what do you think, man?
Yeah. They can also check me out. It's Maneuver 777 on Instagram and TikTok. Man Listen on YouTube. Uh, Man Listen or my regular Facebook page
There's
on Facebook.
two A's in man, right?
Yeah,
MAAN,
yeah,
MAAN. Listen, okay, gotcha.
yeah. MAAN Listen, Man Listen. Yeah, you know, and yeah, just check me out, you know.
Well, Jermaine, I want to
That's
thank you
why.
so much, buddy. You know, this podcast, our third episode here of this podcast, Cures Racism. We're trying to do our part and having open conversations and talking to some good people, and hopefully this country.
I appreciate that though. I appreciate you trying to do your part, man. You know what I'm saying?
You
There
got
needs
it,
to be
brother.
more people like you that's trying to do their part. Period. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Big ups for you. You know what I mean?
thanks, Jermaine. I
For that.
appreciate that, buddy.
No doubt. No
And
doubt.
you look like you lost a little weight, man. You look like did you
Yeah, yeah,
lose?
yeah.
Did you been in the gym or what? Because you look good.
Well, nah. I mean, well, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was working out for a little bit, and then I kind of got lazy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I did get lazy within. You know what I mean? After it started to like, oh wait a minute, I'm gonna lose a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to get down to respectively about like a good 180. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So once I kind of, you know what I'm saying, got down to, so I was at, I want to say I was at like 240 was my top weight, and then I had got down to like two, and I was like, yeah, let me get to like 180, and I'll be kind of like, if I can like post that 180, I'll be kind of all right, you know. So yeah, and then I kind of, you know what I'm saying, lost a little bit, you know what I mean?
Well, I think you're
I,
closer to the lower side now than when I remember.
yeah,
You look like you lost quite a bit, buddy. So if
yeah,
that's good, man. Good for you, bro. You look good.
facts. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, like even though when I was small, I was a little heavier. I never really knew how to maneuver that weight. You know what I'm saying? So when I got heavier again, I still didn't know how to maneuver that weight. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of like it feels kind of funny. It kind of feels
Yeah.
kind of off pivot for me. So yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to get back to where I was at, so to speak, so that way I can maneuver a little bit better.
What
You
was
know?
your method for losing weight? Was it diet and exercise, both? What was your?
Um, I was all organic for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, and like I started doing a little bit, little calisthenics for a little bit, but it wasn't too heavy, and then it was just yeah, a little bit of calisthenics every so often when I can, and then when you know what I mean, like during that time period I was working too, so I was active with the working, and then I was doing a little bit of calisthenics, and then I was eating a little bit of healthier, you know what I mean? So that kind of played in a part of bringing myself, you know what I mean, down to healthier weight.
And it's got to feel good when you start seeing those shirt sizes and pant sizes going down, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. I mean, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, you know, overall, when I had thought of it, I wanted to be like kind of like swole, like Tyson. You know what I mean? I was trying to get to like, you know what I mean? Like I was thinking that type level, but then I was just like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to maneuver none of that weight, so you know what I mean? Like I had to go back to being me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who I am. You know what I mean? It's me all day. You know what I mean? So I had to do that instead of trying to, you know what I'm saying? Bulk up. I was like,
I remember I had lost some weight a couple of years ago, and I remember going on the beach at a lower weight, and I'm walking around. I'm like, man, it's cold on this beach. It's never been cold like this before because I had lost like 20 pounds or something, and suddenly I was cold because I didn't have that extra layer of insulation, so to speak, to keep me warm. But well,
uh,
Jermaine, I want to thank you again, buddy, and I want to get on
thank
this.
you again.
Awesome, man. Good talking to you, buddy. Thanks everybody for
Thanks.
watching. Please subscribe. Mike Messier YouTube channel. We have 2 other previous episodes of this show. This podcast, Cures Racism, with my friends Jamie Reborn, filmmaker from Texas, and Crosby Tatum from Boston. And of course, there's other shows on the Mike Messier YouTube channel. I've got celebrity interviews with Maria Kanellis, Bob Backlund, Ox Baker, one of the boys. That video of the wrestler has taken off recently. It's getting hundreds of more views. I want to thank everybody for viewing it and sharing it. My Pro Wrestling Rants, my original short films, Blood Sugar, Sid Ace is a feature film, The Impeccable. Jermaine Adams, thanks again, buddy. And from
Thank you.
MikeMessier.com and Mike Messier YouTube channel, thanks for watching.
All day.